Hey Connect Group leaders. So I'm sitting down with Cody right now, and I have a list of your most asked questions about leading a Connect Group. So we're just going to take some time and pick his brain and find out the answers to your top asked questions. Hey Cody, thanks so much for taking the time to sit down and go through these questions with us. The first question I have for you is, how do I encourage people to arrive on time?
The best way to encourage punctuality is to actually set the expectation from the beginning. So when you go over your guidelines in group, punctuality is one of those expectations, and then you just stick to it. Hey, we start every week at 7:30. If you're late, then you're going to miss some stuff, and that way you create a sense of urgency for people to actually get there on time, and make no concessions for people that are late. Don't repeat information that was already given. That will give them an incentive to actually get there on time.
So what do I do if people don't show up for the first time? Or if they do come once, what if they don't come again?
The best way is just to follow up with people. Now, if they haven't provided a phone number, we suggest that you call our office and we'll give you the phone numbers you're looking for people that either came once and didn't come back or never showed up. And that way you make it a personal follow-up, and that will help people see how important coming to your group actually is, and let them know that you really do care about them.
So how do I keep the discussion on topic or rein it back in?
First of all, be confident in your leadership. This is your Connect Group, and you are leading the way in discussion. So if somebody is going off on a tangent or oversharing, feel free to politely cut them off and say, thank you for sharing. And if you want to talk more about that, I can talk with you after group, but let's give someone else the opportunity to share. Validate them, of course, say thank you, that's a great job, and then move on quickly.
How do I balance time between outspoken people and quiet people?
It's okay to call people out. It's okay to call them by name and say, hey, Mary, what do you think about the question just asked? And also, don't be afraid of silence. Sometimes it takes people longer to process the information, process the question that you ask. So don't be afraid to sit for a little while and then see if somebody volunteers an answer on their own. But don't be afraid to call people out, and
what if people ask questions that I just can't answer?
This happens to every leader. It's okay not to know the answer to every question. All you have to say is, you know what? That's a great question. I'm not sure of the answer, but I will definitely find out for you and follow up with you. That's it.
How do I handle difficult people or conflicts that arise during discussions?
The best way to handle a difficult situation or conflict in your group is, first of all, to get that person alone. Ask them a couple of questions, second and third questions. What's really going on in their life right now? What's happening that they would behave in this manner? Now, if the conflict doesn't change or is not resolved, then bring your coach in. Say, hey, I have a third party I'd like to talk with us and see if you can really figure it out. Last resort is, of course, always to let our office know that you need help resolving something, and we'd be happy to help you however you can. Just don't ever feel like you're in this alone. We're here to help you.
How do I facilitate spiritual growth in my group?
The best way to facilitate spiritual growth in your group, if that is the goal after all, is of course to create the environment. That's all you're responsible for as a Connect Group leader. Make sure it's a safe place people can share, where people feel that they can open up. But it's really the Holy Spirit's job to spiritual growth. You can't do that, so that you don't have to have all the answers, you don't have to have it all together. But if your apartment is clean and people feel comfortable coming in, and there's a great time of open share for people in your group, then spiritual growth will happen as a byproduct.
So what if someone needs more support or counseling? How do I know when to refer them to somebody else, and who would I refer them to?
If you ever feel like you're out of your depth, or there's just a situation with someone in your group that you can't handle, please call pastoral care at Oasis. That is the best way to get someone the counseling or pastoring that they need to get through whatever they're going through. And so you can email pastoralcare@oasisla.org or call our offices at 818-287-8055, extension 505. And we are available 24/7 for a situation or a circumstance that might make you feel uncomfortable. We're here to help. Congratulations, you made it through our online training for Connect Group leaders. Next steps for you are actually to attend our Leadership Summit that happens at the beginning of every season. And there you're actually going to get more in-depth training and be equipped on how to lead your group most effectively. We love you. Thank you for leading in community and discipleship at our church.